don't need any fancy gear to potty train, but you do need to set it up smartly so that you're not running all over the place or having disasters. So these potty training station tips will 100% make your toddler's potty learning faster, smoother, and more independent, which we want. There are 3 keys to these potty stations, so let's go through them now. I'm Andrea Olson, mom of 6, potty training and infant potty training expert. Let's dive in. Part 1 is the potty training station in the play area where you're doing the training. So in this part, when toddlers are first learning, and if you're using my method, we're moving them to the potty every time they start to go to the bathroom. Obviously, if we try to do that and go to the actual bathroom and the big toilet, they're going to dribble and tinkle all the way there, and we don't really want that, and it's not really immediate enough to teach them. Proximity is everything here. The more catches you make, so the more pee, even just a drop or 2 each time you get into the potty, the faster it clicks. So we want that potty right next to you while you're training. So what you need is a small potty. Here's one that I sell at tinyandies.com. It's very short so the child can easily get onto it. And you can set that on a waterproof mat, a yoga mat, or a towel or something like that, or just on the ground. And that's honestly all you need. Some people, especially if you practice Montessori, will have a little smaller mirror so that they can look at themselves while they're going. But basically, yeah, set it right next to you. And when you're just doing your thing and playing with your child, and on phase 1, day 1 of my method, we give a lot of extra juice, watermelon, things that promote a lot of peas. We're wanting a lot of peas that first day. So you need to have it right there. And mine has a little handle too. You just grab it and bring it over and set it down. A couple of tips on this. Don't over clutter your potty station. I mean, literally just set a potty in your area where you're playing. This is just for the learning phase. You don't have to keep the potty out forever. Some potty training methods actually say never leave the potty out, but I like to use it as a signal. So when my 2-year-old goes over to it, it usually means that she needs to go to the bathroom, and we generally will go in the big toilet. Once they are consistently going and you've clicked through all of the training, guess what? This station gets phased out and we will be moving to part 2, which is the bathroom potty station. But before we do this, I actually want to give you one really cool tip that I learned when I was manufacturing these potties for the first time. I had all 4 colors laid out in my kitchen, and my son Branson, at that time he was like 1.5 years old, he would go from one to the next to the next to the next. Now he didn't like sitting on a mini potty at all, but once I got these, because they're really short and easy to get on, he also liked the choice that it gave for several colors. So I often have customers who will buy this in 2 different colors and set them next to each other in the potty station, and then when they set them on it, they can have a choice if they're experiencing resistance. The other benefit of getting more than one potty is, like, if you're doing the training and you'll be in the kitchen, you'll be in the living room, and you'll be on the porch, you can have one in each area and not have to bring it with you. So that's just a little pro tip from us. Okay, part 2, the bathroom station in the bathroom for when they are done with the potty training experience. So this is the long-term setup for independence. A thoughtfully designed potty station will help them do the full routine without help, which is going to promote independence. A lot of people ask me, well, do I need to totally move to the big toilet right away, or do I need to totally phase out the mini potty right away? It really just depends on your child. I really like to give my children choice. It reduces resistance because they feel like they have a choice. Even my older children, the oldest one's 14 right now, like, we give choice. So we'll have this on a little rug in the bathroom next to the big toilet, and there will be a toilet seat reducer that's easily accessible. I have used the ladder toilet seat reducers. They have one at church. We use it there. It really just depends. What we want to avoid is making this a play area. We want to do the deed. So do you want to go in the little potty or the big toilet? And you also don't need to use a toilet seat insert. Usually kids like them because it makes them feel more secure. After a certain point, they might start to resist that. And all you do is you just set them on the big toilet and say, put your hands down on the seat, and then they can hold themselves up. Usually a few months after 2 is when the kids like to do that. But for your permanent station after you're done with the training, we just need to have something for them to go to the bathroom in. And sometimes a choice is helpful. Sometimes a choice is distracting. So if that's the case, then you just want to get rid of the one that's not working for you. In the Montessori school of thought, which I love using here and there with my kids, a full-length mirror in the bathroom so that they can see themselves self-dress is really good. We want to have a basket or a wet dry bag. So this is a wet dry bag. I sell these at Tiny Andy's. It's got 1 zippered pocket for wets, 1 for dries. We usually will have just a wicker basket in the bathroom with the extra. These are all Tiny Undies from my Tiny Undies shop, including my self-dressing ones. These have physical cues for self-dressing. They're the Learn Undies. You can get them there. But yeah, we would have a bunch of, I would say 6 or 7 extra pair in a basket. Next to it, I would put a plastic bucket that we put the wet ones in. So with potty training and potty independence, it's It's not about the number of wets. And actually, accidents can tell you a lot about things. I do have a course on pee accidents on my website if you need that, but usually it's an indicator that something needs to be learned or shifted or whatever. In any case, we want to have a place for them in this potty station because let's face it, there are going to be accidents. It's part of the process. So we want the dry ones and we want the wet ones, and we want them on the ground nearby. We want a little stool that they can put their feet on so that they can get up, or we want the ladder thing. We want the potty, obviously. We want a full-length mirror if possible, and if there's already one in there, then you're just going to have your child sit on the stool, take off the wet undies. You can pull them down halfway, tell them to sit. They can pull them off the rest of the way. So we want to involve our child in changing after an accident. Absolutely. So we're going to do wets off, then we get on, we do the whole process. We get down, we wipe, we flush, then we can sit back on the stool, put these on, and if you have the learn ones, you're going to put blue in, then gray in, and then they're going to stand up and they're going to pull them up. They might have trouble, so you might have to help. And then eventually we want them to just be able to do this themselves. And eventually we won't have accidents, but we want to have things available. The other thing is, a lot of my mom friends joke with me and they're like, yeah, I haven't had the roll of toilet paper on the roll thing for 3 years because their kid's 3 years old, and they'll go in there and they'll pull the whole thing off and have a pile of toilet paper. You know this has happened to you. To prevent that, you can either squish the toilet paper roll so that the paper thing inside it is flat and it can't roll very quickly. That's one tip. Or you can get a little box, like a tissue box, and just put a few squares of toilet paper in there so that when they need to go, they can't obsess with pulling all the paper off. And yes, take the roll off the thing, put it somewhere else for a while. It won't be forever. And then the other thing that some people have found has been a potty training bump in the road in our book owner support area. And they're like, I don't know what the deal is, and there's something missing. And they got a light switch extender that goes down the wall so the kid could easily turn the light on and off as part of this routine, this process. So once they had that, the potty training was done for them, which is wild, right? It could be anything. Oh, the other thing, and I don't have a copy nearby, but my board book called Tiny Potty, you can get it on Amazon or on my website. It has the full potty process, including feeling that you need to go, stopping play to go potty, all the parts, and then going back to play when you're done. So that can help teach the process while you're potty station in the bathroom during independence promotion. After training, that's going to physically give them the ability to do the whole routine themselves. And another little tip I want to give you is to let them help restock this station. It builds pride and habit. It helps them be part of this process. So you can, okay, take these underwear from the laundry room here and go put them in your dry basket. And then let's take the wet ones and go dump them into the laundry. This helps them a lot. Or if you have a wet dry bag, you can hang it from the doorknob and they can be in charge of refilling it and emptying it if you want to. So you know your child best. If any of this stuff helps, great. And we have one more part 3 is coming up. But if you want to see exactly how I set up the potty stations and all the equipment and stuff that I use, which is really not a lot, the full guide is inside of my book, the Tiny Potty Training book, and the link is in the description. I tell you how to potty train. It takes an average of 7 days or less for our readers. Half the book is troubleshooting, and it comes with support from certified coaches that I've trained. So if you get stuck with something random like a light switch, we can help you brainstorm how to fix it. You can see examples of all that inside the book. And now to part 3, minimize distractions and clutter. So whether we're doing a potty station during potty training, like out in the living room, or we're doing a station in the bathroom, toddlers focus way better when the space is calm and clear. So we don't want to have screens in the potty area unless you're like showing them the video library that comes with my book that has my then 3-year-old Isadora teaching your child how to do all the parts. I've gotten so many emails of parents like, when she goes potty, she wants to watch Isadora every single time. So that is a potential thing. But if it starts to distract from the task, we want to remove it because it's a distraction. Toys, chaos near the potty, like you know who you are, who have like makeup everywhere and products all over, and you just don't have a good organizational thing going on in your bathroom. Clear the clutter, declutter your bathroom. I love the book Decluttering at the Speed of Life. Just get it, read it, learn how to do it, and just get that bathroom decluttered. It actually will help your toddler focus better, get the job done, and get in and out. I don't like to keep toys next to the toilet. I think that they're distracting, but if you find that it helps your child calm down, like maybe it's like a squishy toy or something, then you can use it and make it a potty only toy. We want to keep both of these stations neutral, simple, and consistent. So if you have one of these in the living room, use it in the bathroom as well as a transition piece. Pottying, it's just part of everyday life. It's not an activity. It's not an outing. It's not a performance. It's not a special rainbow moment. It's just part of what we do to take care of ourselves. So we should have a very simple setup and a simple station to support our toddlers in doing this successfully. Click here for more videos like this.